Well, I thought I'd start the video sitting on one of my favorite childhood slides. And here we are, dude. As soon as someone passes, I'm stopping the video because I'm way too embarrassed. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. It's a pretty okay environment right now. Well, I just have some perspectives on a childhood I felt that I've forgotten at this point. There are quaint memories, of course. People I've known, family and friends, vacations and school life and all that. It's kind of like the more you talk about it, the more you start to remember, I guess. But really what the main issue for me with this whole thing is that what actually sticks with me are just like the insecurities, the childhood turmoil that I went through. That is what really stays. It's not really the memories per se, or like stories to tell in a way. Maybe in some kind of comfortable environment, but not just as like a fun activity to do. I feel empty. I feel like I've lost so much time, and the growth I could have done. Like even just making simple mistakes, being out more, being with the wrong people. Like I wish I had done that instead of what I did, which was just like isolate myself and exist on a computer. Which kind of gave me, a different perspective on life. I'm well more traversed in internet culture, and I know the whole YouTube lore, like from beginning to end. I know all of the big YouTubers, because that was like my TV show back in the day, watching the daily vloggers and all that. Like I remember Prank versus Prank and all that. And old PewDiePie in Amnesia days. Yeah, man. When you enter adulthood, I think you really start to see the different lives people have had. And I can't pretend that I don't feel jealous a lot of the time, because while my experience is unique in a way that no one else has had it, I still kind of wish I didn't have it, or like that I could trade. And maybe that feels, maybe I sound spoiled to another person who's watching this or hearing this, but I can't be alone in this feeling, right? I just wished I touched more grass, like played outside more. Like I didn't see what the point was, because I had been so doped up on like the computer. I had all these games and everything was so accessible. I really I lost myself in a way. I became another person, but in the end I feel like if there were alternatives, and one of them was that I didn't get addicted to my computer, I think that life would have been way more interesting to talk about. And now I'm sort of compensating, because now I'm trying to be interesting and doing things, but in a way that feels inauthentic to myself, because the person I know is that kid in the bedroom, after school, just like existing on the computer for 8 hours in a day. So anytime I'm at a party or at the club or with my friends, I get this imposter syndrome somehow. Maybe I'm way too stuck in the past, or I still have some unresolved issues, but I just don't really know how to get past that. I'm way more adverse in escaping and doing my vices and all this. I wish I was more mature in a way, that I would take every new experience as sort of like my growth spurt or whatever. That whatever I was doing was unique and all of this, but I've kind of already seen it all, on the computer. Sometimes it's been crazy though. Like I remember going up to not up to the mountains, but I was around the mountains in Austria last year with my friends, and we had done like a very long train ride. And when we got there, our Airbnb wasn't open yet, and we were so tired. I remember sleeping on a deck close to the beach where we were at, and the pond was in the middle, and then there were like thousands of meters high mountains around us. It was probably the craziest place I've ever been. That place is unique because I would have never known what it felt like to be there. I could kind of predict what Rome would feel like and all of this, like big cities, but that place, completely different. And see, that's a cool story to tell, like the whole train ride and stuff, but that came way much later, and I wish it didn't. I wish I had more to tell, That's sort of the things I now feel I'm overcompensating with. So that was just like really just me fucking rambling. Didn't really come to a conclusion. It's just like kind of my emotions, right? I don't know, dude. I'm just recording. And the sun is setting behind this hill. my camcorder has like 12 minutes of battery. But yeah, you know, when I'm with new people or like a girl I like and I hear their stories, I sort of sit there and I'm like, I'm very happy that they lived that, you know. At the same time, I kind of wish I was like at least a spectator so I could know what it felt like. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. There's always like a difference to being a kid and an adult. Different type of things you go through, but you know, I sort of hope I can at least encapsulate a little moment that I've always strived for as a kid, but never did, you know. I haven't really strived for anything. I've sort of just taken a seat back and relaxed. So yeah, that's just me, I guess. I don't know, why do I zoom? Does this piercing make me look interesting?